Hi everyone. Let me first tell you about myself. I have around 20 years of IT experience, and during my experience, I have worked on multiple source code control, version control systems, starting with CVS, then SVN, then GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket. So I have a kind of a working experience on most of the source code control systems. Okay, so why we need the certification? Um, as I mentioned, I have worked on multiple source code control systems. Uh, in every project, basically, you will be using some source code control system where source code will be placed, and you will be using it almost every day to check in the code or make the code changes. Use it for the builds and deployments. Um, so at some point, you will be using some additional features of the source code control system. For that, you refer the documentation, learn that skill, learn that feature, apply it. So while you are doing that, if you really want to showcase your skills, then certification is the best way, because you might be knowing a lot of things about the source code control system, but if you really want to showcase your skills to the outside world, so that you will get some benefits out of it, then certification is the best way, in my opinion. The other benefit of certification is to gain and evaluate your skills outside your project area. Basically, during your day-to-day activities in your project, you may not be using all the features of the source code control system. But as part of the certification, basically depending on the topics it covers, the scope of the exam, you will get a chance to go through the other features of the tool, uh, learn those features, and you might think of how I can use those new features that I have learned in my current project. So it enhances your skills. At the same time, it gives you a chance to use those features or adapt those features in your project. Okay, so the next part is the technical preparation for the exam. As I mentioned, I have worked on multiple source code control systems, so I know a lot of features of those. In my current project, I'm working on, we are using basically Bitbucket and GitHub both. We are migrating from Bitbucket to GitHub. I'm working on both the source code control systems. I'm also part of the migration process. Um, Still, you need to prepare for the exam. This basically reminds me the exam that we used to give in our school or college days, where even if you like study all over the year or during the semester, you still need to prepare something right before the exam, right? So same principle applies here. You need to prepare. Okay, so below are some resources that I used for my technical preparation. Okay, so the first point is Microsoft Learn. So if you are preparing for the Foundations exam, Microsoft Learn is the first thing that you should go through, because since it's official documentation, it will give you an idea of the scope of the exam, what different topics you should study and all that. Since the GitHub has a lot of other features, and if you're preparing just for the GitHub Foundations, then you should focus on specific topics and you can skip others for now. So Microsoft Learn will give you an idea of the syllabus for the exam. When you are going through the topics in the Microsoft Learn, you may not get like all the details, required details, but if you just go through the associated GitHub documentation while learning that specific topic, that will help. Also, the Microsoft Learn has some tutorials which can give you some hands-on idea as well. But since it's a theoretical objective exam, you may not need that, but yeah, it will always help you. So yeah, go to the Microsoft Learn to and get an idea of what the scope of the exam is, and definitely you will need other material to have a detailed study for the exam. Second is Udemy practice exams. So basically, I purchased one practice exam that is available on Udemy. I will provide the link in the description. So practice exam basically gives you some idea of what kind of questions will be asked, and you can also get used to the exam pattern, right? Because knowing something is one thing, but to really think through your whatever you know and then give the correct answer, then time management, so all those things require the additional practice. So this practice exam will help you to do that, because even if you know something, answering that during the exam is another thing. So uh, take one or two Udemy practice exams. That way you will get to know the pattern of questions and how to answer those questions during the exam. So you can treat that as a real exam and see how much score you get, and then maybe go back to those questions again, see what are the correct answers, and then every question will have a reference documentation, so you can go back to the GitHub documentation, read more about that topic. That way you know more things, and then you will be basically ready for the exam if you take few practice exams. Okay, then last point is the YouTube videos. So see, let's say you pass some exam, then at that point you know like what you prepared and what was really not needed, what was really required for the exam. But when you think of taking some exam at that point, basically you are not aware of what should be your direction, what material you should study, what should be the learning process and all that. So some YouTube videos where people share their experiences on how they prepared for the exam, what they referred, what was useful, what wasn't that much useful. So just go to the YouTube and search for the GitHub Foundations exam where people have shared their experiences. So that way you will know what specific things you need to prepare, what you can avoid, which may not be that much useful during the exam. Uh, some exams will have very require some strict time management. So how to handle that? People will share their tips and tricks. Yeah, go through the YouTube videos, because apart from just the technical preparation, as I said, the other thing is how to really apply your technical knowledge during the exam. So those things definitely you will learn more from the YouTube videos than anywhere else. Okay, so the last point is beyond technical preparation. So let's say your technical preparation is done. You went through all the documentation, practice exams, YouTube videos, and now you are ready for the exam. So there is always something like beyond technical preparation. So for example, let's say you have studied everything, but during the exam you will need to remember something. That way you can recall it quickly, right? So what to focus and remember. So I can maybe pinpoint to like a specific thing, like the practice exams, because practice exams is something which simulates the real exam. So just remember some of those questions, the important questions, what are the answers, and the pattern and the documentation related to that, because in the real exam it kind of there will be similar questions, right? So like, yeah, focus and remember those practice exam questions and answers of those. Second is revisions. So for me, I prepared around 2 weeks, like 10 days, 10 calendar days. The initial 6 to 7 days was for this preparation that I mentioned above. Then the last 3-4 days were kind of revisions, so where I revised at least twice whatever I have learned. My revision was based on the notes that I have taken. So like whatever I learned, I will take some notes in the Word document, and during the revision I will just refer that Word document. I will not go through the like Microsoft Word or practice exam questions again. I will just refer to the points, the important points that I have taken in the Word document. That way I don't have to like spend a lot of time in my revisions. So taking the notes and referring to those during the revisions is kind of another tip I want to share with you. The last one is what to revise on the previous day of exam. So basically it's the same thing. If it's good to take the notes. If you have some other ideas or other practices, you can do that. But at least for me, I took the notes and I referred those notes right before the exam, and yeah, because that helped me to recall those things quickly at the time of exam, because it was kind of a fresh in my mind. Thanks all for watching this video. If you have reached to this point, that means whatever I discussed was interesting and useful for you. So I hope you pass the exam, and all the best. Thank you.